I saw Nuremberg in a pretty packed theater over the weekend, and while it's not a perfect movie, it is still a very good movie. Russell Crowe, in my opinion, is a top 10 working actor in Hollywood right now. His ability to character act continues to amaze me. But today, we're going to play Agree or Disagree. I'm going to read 8 critics' comments and talk about whether I agree or disagree with them. So let's get started. First is Leonard Maltin. Now this is the critic that I probably agree with the most. This movie isn't consumed with self-importance, despite some obvious parallels to current events. This is entertainment that happens to be rooted in reality about a day of reckoning, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in a long, long time. I agree that the movie's not really consumed with self-importance, and there are some really obvious parallels to current day. And it is entertainment rooted in reality I think best describes this movie. So thanks for that, Leonard Maltin. Next is Alan French. While it features a deep ensemble, a disastrous performance from Rami Malek, and a runtime that far exceeds its welcome, it leaves Nuremberg without much life. There's a lot of criticism about Rami Malek's performance in this movie, and while I don't necessarily think it's his performance so much as the character in the movie that wasn't very good. But to call his performance disastrous is a little bit over the top. It wasn't awesome, but it wasn't really that bad either. And a runtime that far exceeds its welcome. While the movie was long, I didn't necessarily think it was drawn out. I thought that it was the appropriate length for the movie. It is a long, slow-paced movie, and that's what I thought it was. So no, I do not agree with this one. Next is Alison Gillmor. Nuremberg is not outright awful, but it's not nearly as serious or thoughtful as it thinks it is. It's the most frustrating kind of mediocre movie, one that is haunted by a sense it could have been, and should have been much, much better. I do understand her criticism, and I do agree with her in part, but not to the point where it makes it a bad movie. A less of a better movie, maybe, but not a bad movie. So we'll say that I disagree because I didn't think it made it that bad of a movie. Next is John Urbancich. I hope I said that right. If we are talking about awards possibilities, it is Crowe, whose galling, seductive, maddening, narcissistic portrait of pure evil rises above anything else in a film that includes eye-challenging footage of real concentration camp survivors. I agree with him that Russell Crowe's performance was definitely excellent. It was the best part of this movie. Was it pure evil? I don't know about that because there have been other portrayals of Nazis where they have actually shown pure evil, like Conspiracy. But Russell Crowe's performance was excellent, so yes, I agree with this one. Next is Julian Roman. Nuremberg is told in a bullet point Wikipedia-style narrative, with poor exposition connecting critical scenes. A wealth of ensemble talent is wasted on one-note performances that fail to bolster dramatic impact. I disagree with this one strongly. Russell Crowe was great, but there were a lot of really good performances outside of Rami Malek. Michael Shannon was another example of somebody who did a very good job. Was it a bullet point style Wikipedia movie? Absolutely not. There was a lot of great undertones that came from the relationship between Russell Crowe's character and Rami Malek's character, and that really drove the movie. It was a lot better put together than what is insinuated here. So no, I do not agree with this one. Next is the well-named Odie Henderson. Rami Malek and Russell Crowe lead a cast of actors doing excellent work in this large-scale, old-school ensemble piece. I think I've mentioned already most of what he says in this critique, but I definitely agree with this one. There are a lot of great performances outside of Russell Crowe and Rami Malek. Next one is from Rob Thomas. Vanderbilt tries to make Nuremberg as entertaining a film as he can. A gripping courtroom drama in the mold of the Aaron Sorkin penned A Few Good Men with a big all-star cast, snappy dialogue, and even a few laughs here and there. I actually disagree with this one because this is not on the level of A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men has its reputation in the back and forth in that end scene in the courtroom. And while there was some back and forth in this movie in the courtroom, it wasn't on that level. Last one is Susan Granger. Tightly scripted and confidently directed by James Vanderbilt, the verbal sparring between Malek's psychiatrist and Crowe's Hermann Göring is reminiscent of the manipulative maneuvering between Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs. This one I actually disagree with strongly only because it is insulting to assume that Rami Malek's performance of his character is anywhere near Hannibal Lecter. It is not. Not only is Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter more convincing of a psychiatrist, but his character is far more interesting. So no, I do not agree with this one. If you're looking for a movie on Nazi leadership that's not necessarily original, but does have really good acting, then you might enjoy this movie. It should be a fun watch for anybody who's a history buff or who just enjoys great acting. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and share the video. Ahui ho, and we'll see you next time.